Hello and welcome to day 145 in this quest for a 2000 rapid chess rating on chess.com. All right, let's find an opponent. Last two games were pretty tough, so hopefully this one will work out better. Let's see here. It's taking a while to find an opponent. I tried the hippo defense in the last couple games. I don't know. I think in this game maybe I'll play more standard openings. The hippo defense worked. I came out okay, but then each game I had a blunder in the end. So let's see what our opponent plays here. All right, we'll go for the Caro-Kann. And this is interesting. The move they've made. All right, so obviously we want to capture back that way. We want to pin this knight. So we'll go ahead and pin the knight. All right, so now we can let that knight sit there. And I think we can develop our knight. Let's see, should we go here? Threaten a capture. Nah, that doesn't do much. All right, we'll go there. All right, so now bring the other knight out. Or perhaps we just go here to prevent any checks on our king, which I don't see that happening anytime soon, but we probably need to go here first. And we'll let that bishop just sit there. But the knight could jump here. Attacking, then we would have to capture. It would help the queen develop. Okay, and he does that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and capture. And let's see. Well, looks like we just go here maybe. Or we go here. Maybe we go there, piling up on this knight. Develop our queen. I don't know. We probably need to bring this out. Maybe we capture, but then our knight could come under attack. Huh. All right. I'm going to say we just go there. We'll just go ahead and develop that. Get ready to develop our bishop. And our bishop could go here with check. That's a possibility. So my opponent might play d4 to block that, or to prevent me from being able to go there with check. So if this pawn, that's the most likely move. Or they could just capture here. There's this possibility of pushing the pawn as well. Now, okay, so that's what I'm, okay, they do play that. Wait a minute, now I can just capture that. What? I could just capture, yeah, I think that works. I can just go ahead and pick that off. So we'll just grab that pawn. Okay. Now, what? We jump the other knight up and no, we're under attack. So we have to take care of this attacked piece. What do we do? What do we do with that attacked piece? Huh. Well, we could go here. So maybe that works. Or do we just retreat? Maybe it's better to develop a piece. We could bring our queen out. Maybe bring the bishop out is best. Bring out the bishop. I don't know. I think that might be best. We'll just bring that bishop out. Because now we have a chance for a discovered check. All right, and right away they see that. All right. So we should probably just castle now. I'm thinking that is best to just go ahead and castle. Is castling best? Probably. Probably best to just castle. So we'll go ahead and castle. Now we have to develop our queen. So maybe the best move would be maybe to go here or here. The good thing is that the bishop is probably gonna, maybe he's gonna fianchetto here. All right. Would it be good to go here? That doesn't really do much. We'll go here maybe and attack the knight, I think. So we attack the knight. Now he could retreat, because when you're behind in material, we're ahead by a pawn. Now when you're behind, you want to avoid trading pieces, so they could go back here and attack my bishop. All right, now I should drop back. Or I just add pressure here and I'm lined up this way. But I don't know if that was best. Maybe it would have been better to go back there. And I have the dark squared bishop, so I probably need to push this pawn up here. But anyway, the threat now is that I just capture, pawn captures, and then my bishop recaptures, and I go ahead by a bishop here. Now, one thing I might have to watch out for is, now if the rook captures, my queen can capture. Like, so, if we trade off here and this rook is targeting the knight, as long as my queen can recapture, there wouldn't be any surprises. If queen checks, which that wouldn't work anyway because the pawn would be there if I captured with a pawn. But the queen could try and jump in here maybe. All right. Well, now we can just go ahead and grab another pawn. So we just grab the pawn. We can all right, so he's going to attack me. I should... Ooh, got to be careful what I was talking about. If there's a check here, if the rook sacrifices for the knight, well, either way, I need to protect, and probably best to just go here. Now I'm targeting this pawn as well. I could try and pick this pawn off. But I have to watch out because of this. I guess my knight could jump up here as well. This might be a great outpost for my knight. I probably should do that. Jump this knight up here and get that into the game. That would... So I don't know. I think I have a good position in this game. I'm ahead by 2 pawns. I have 2 extra center pawns, kingside pawn majority. Okay, so he decides, well, now, do we go after this pawn? Do we get greedy here? All right, probably best to bring the rook on the half-open file. That might be the best thing to do. Problem. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the half-open file. If the knight tries to attack us, well then I'm going to pick this off. If the rook tries to pin the bishop, then I could go here, perhaps, with my queen and have this rook. Oh no, I can't go there because the knight will be there. So if the knight goes there, can I go here? Can I go there? If I go there, and then maybe jump my knight up here, but his knight could threaten to jump down here and try and get a mate, maybe. So I have to watch out for that. Okay, if the knight jumps here, what if the knight goes over here? Well, I don't want to worry about that at the moment, but maybe I need to go here. Could have tried to pick that off, but what if capture, recapture, queen checks, then I have to move. Okay. Well, now I think I can just go after this. Go after this pawn. But I don't know. He could push forward here and try and cause some issues. Oh, maybe I go here and just pin the knight to the rook. All right, all right. I have to be careful though because he's lined up on my king. So well, what now? Okay. Let's calculate here. If we just pick this pawn off, well then, what if he sacrifices? Capture, capture, queen checks. I move. He can't block the pawn or the bishop. But the problem is he moves this and has a bishop lined up down through the center here. That could be an issue. Okay, so maybe I should just drop back even further. The problem is, though, I think that this knight is going to jump here. Okay, all I have to do is set up a solid defense. Maybe I go here, try and get this. I don't know. This rook, should I leave it here to defend this? Maybe. All right. Man, I'm debating on whether or not to go after this pawn. If I snatch up this pawn, what if he sacrifices? Sacrifice the rook. I capture. The queen checks. The other rook could jump into the game. One problem is this knight jumping here and chasing my bishop. So maybe I go back and then drop it back to here. Man. Man, I'm burning up so much time here. This could be a problem. I'm just not sure which way to go. All right, I think we'll go here. Then oh, I guess if the knight jumps over here, we could always go here and attack the rook. You know, that's a possibility. Man, it would be good to get this pawn up here. But, you know, right now the queen can just capture. Okay, so there we go. Do we attack the rook? Maybe we do that. Attack the rook. The rook would have to move. Maybe the rook would just move there. All right, that gives us time. So we'll go there, attacking the rook. Then our knight can jump up here. We could even jump down here. We could bring our knight in here, or our pawn up here, and try and fianchetto. All right. Okay, we'll get our knight involved here. Oh, now we have the threat of picking off this pawn. If the knight captures, we can fork the king and the queen. So this is very dangerous. If he tries to chase our bishop away, we could just capture. We could just capture. Then if he recaptures, once again, we fork. But all right, interesting. What is this knight trying to do? Attack my queen down here? All right, we'll go there and set up the fork. So now we're setting up a fork here on king and queen and rook. So that's good. What could he do? Attack my queen? That's a possibility. Then what? We drop back. But then he still has the threat here, or I still have the threat of attacking with this fork, and a discovered attack too. If he picks off the bishop, you know, then I can move away, capture a piece, and have a discovered attack as well. So what's his best move? What's my opponent's best move? To move the queen, I think. Or the rook. They could just move the rook up here. If the rook moves there, then he'll have to give up the rook for my knight. I can recapture. So maybe that's best. Move the rook up. If the rook moves up, I can jump in there. He has to capture. I capture with the bishop. And then I'm just ahead, even more material. Then I'm already ahead 3 pawns. So, if he wants to stir things up a little bit, I guess he could attack my queen. But I could ignore that maybe. Check. He gets the bishop. We pick this off. If he grabs my queen, then I can capture with the rook. And we just trade down a bunch of material. So, now their clock is really ticking. All right. So, do we have any way to threaten mate? No, because if once our knight goes here, he can just pick that off. But we have the fork on the king and the queen, so he has to stop that. So I'm thinking either the rook jumps in here, we fork, he captures rook for knight, our bishop recaptures. Then what? We're just ahead even more material. We drop our bishop maybe back to here. All right. Well, they're not making a move. Maybe they're giving up, or they're just thinking a long time like I did. Because I did take, oh my gosh, how long did I take on that one think back here a little while ago? Almost 5 minutes on one move. That's too much. I shouldn't be taking that long. But it was kind of a turning point in the game. But still, if we have 15 minutes, maybe 20 if we go 60, or no, how much is that? Anyway, we have the 10-second increment added on as well. So for every 6 moves, that's another minute. So if we have 60 moves, that's another 10 minutes. So 25 minutes. So 30 seconds if we go per move, if we go to a 50 move game. So I should be trying to keep my moves down to probably 30 seconds or less. Which I guess I did that on most of my moves, although I did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my moves were longer than 30 seconds out of 21 moves. All right, I don't know. Maybe they just gave up. I don't know. That's kind of frustrating when somebody just, they don't resign and they don't move. They just sit there. Maybe they're trying to calculate everything out. Like, what would happen if they attack my queen? Well, then, if they attack my queen, I guess I could fork. The king would have to take the bishop. We could capture their queen. And then they would capture my queen, but we get their knight. So we would get a queen and a knight for a bishop. Or wait a minute. Let's see. Oh, yeah, maybe we don't want to do that if we're giving up um, bishop, knight, and queen for queen and knight. So if they jump down here, then what? We just centralize back? No, we'd have to go up further. Oh, maybe we go there. But then they could push this and attack us. So maybe that's a good move. Knight to b4. Maybe we just drop back here. Drop back. If they capture this pawn and target our rook, maybe we ignore that and fork their king and queen. Then we would get 14 points, and we would give up 9, 10, 11, 12. So I guess they're not going to move. Well, if they're not going to make a move, then I'll just do the game review, and then I'll dig into the computer analysis as well. I apologize for you having to just sit there for so long without them making any move. But, I mean, come on, either resign or play the game out, and to the end. I guess they think that makes people angry when they just don't make a move and just let the clock run down that way. All right, well, looks like they're just going to run out of time here. But yeah, it was looking bad. We're already ahead 3 pawns, and then we have this fork threat here. Okay, well, let's do a game review and see what we can learn from this. Okay, I played it at 90.4% accuracy versus their 79.3. I played at a 2250 level, which I don't know if you can see that underneath here. Let's see. I could try and move my picture there. So now you can see underneath. They played at 1800 level. I played at 2250. Let's see what else was going on. Bad moves. They had 3 inaccuracies. Man, I had 0 inaccuracies, no mistakes, no misses. So I guess I played a better game today. In the opening, I had 96.3% accuracy. They had 92.2. Middle game, they had 70.8% accuracy, and I had 88%. All right, so we'll blast through these moves. There was a Caro-Kann, which it's interesting that they played this f4 move early in the Caro-Kann. So I'm attacking their pawn. I'll have to see what this is even called, what variation of the Caro-Kann, if there's a name for it. Okay, that's a blunder because they just give me a free pawn in the center and allow me to chase their queen. Well, yeah, I guess I'm chasing their queen. So they had a blunder there. We'll take a look at that in the analysis. Of course, we want to grab this free central pawn. And then some maneuvering around here. And that was the best move. So now I'm winning by over 4.5, the equivalent of 4.5 pawns, even though I'm ahead 3 pawns. Okay, let's take a look at the analysis and see from the beginning what we could have done, what our opponent could have done better, what can be learned. So e4, c6, the Caro-Kann defense. And now, this f4 move, it's a book move, but it doesn't show that it's any special variation of the Caro-Kann. Usually, they'll grab the center with both pawns. Something like d4, and then you can play d5. They can either capture, push, or defend their D pawn. But this F4 move, I don't come across that as much. So, I just play like normal. And was that the best move according to the computer? Yes, D5 is the best move to immediately attack. They could push forward and gain space here. Looks like D3 is the most recommended move. That's interesting. So they capture. Apparently that's an inaccuracy. Now I'm ahead by half a pawn, the equivalent of half a pawn after capture. So then D4 would be best. But now it's saying knight to F3, which is good. They need to get this king castled, and especially by pushing the F pawn, creating a weakness over here. So bishop to F5 is recommended. Knight to C6 is good. And I don't see bishop to G4. They say that's a good move, but now I lost some of my momentum there. Okay, so the pin is broken. H3 would have been better to immediately force me to make a decision about that knight, if I'm going to capture or retreat with my bishop. So I just keep developing. Knight to C6 would have been better. Castle. Finally, I play knight to C6, but now they're saying E6 would be better. So they attack my knight. I trade bishops. They say that's excellent, but queen to B6 would be even better with a check. So they recommend queen to B6 check. The king would have to move, and then we can play H5. Oh, defending the bishop, I see. But I don't know if I like that. They can capture. Oh, but then I guess I could capture and then capture up here maybe. Anyway, the computer likes that better. So we push forward, and here's the blunder. So what should they have played? C3. C3 would keep my knight out of their position. It would fortify this D4 pawn push. So that would be better. Here we should just pile up on the knight. They should play, they recommend D3 or D4. The only thing bad about D4 is it's going to block in your bishop quite a bit, and you'll have a bad bishop. So maybe D3, is it better? No, they're saying A4, come over this way. All right, back to the blunder. They blunder a pawn, we capture. Queen moves, but D3 would have been better. They like D3 better. So now we just develop and defend the knight, but the queen move would have been better. So king gets out of the line of fire of this bishop because there was a possible, it would have been awful. If they ignored that, we could jump here with a double discovered check and then pick off the queen. So, luckily they saw that coming. And then castling, rook to C8 immediately would have been better. So they attack my knight. I jump back, although they like knight to F5 better. Okay. Well, if I played knight to F5, they could chase me away, maybe. Start attacking with these pawns. So, I don't know. I thought I'm ahead by a pawn. Maybe I can trade off this knight. So we have an attack here. Not the best way to go. Apparently, capturing would have been better. Capturing the knight. Wait a minute. How does that work? Because if we capture, they can capture with the pawn. Oh, and then I can jump up here chasing their queen, and that gives me time to retreat the bishop. Okay. So I go back this way, adding pressure to this. They don't notice that. So capture, although knight to E4 attacking the queen immediately would be better. So capture, capture. See, we could have attacked the queen with, we could have gone after knight to e4, gone after the queen, and been able to chase it with the move. So here we have knight to d2, developing this knight, maybe getting ready to push this, but probably ready to attack my bishop. So here, that's the best move. They also play the best move, and then that was the best move. Okay. This is good, but b5 would have been better, which would get some of these pawns off of the dark squares here, so this bishop has more room maybe in the future. So we attack. Excellent move, but knight to e4 is better? Huh. Interesting. Knight to e4. They could just capture the bishop, but we're ahead by 2 pawns now, so if we trade down more material. But I didn't want to leave them with this strong bishop aimed at my king side if I get rid of my bishop. So that's the best move, developing the rook. Finally, we play this, the best move. They jump forward, which is good, but g3 would have been better. I don't know about g3, because we can just pick that off. Although, that would leave an opening to our king, maybe, if we knock out some of these pawns. So, anyway, let's keep this moving along. We capture the best move. Okay, and then this is where they just let the time run out. So the best move here is to attack my queen. The queen should retreat to b8. And now, queen to f3 is best. Queen to f3 or d3 maybe. Nope, f3. Then we fork the king and the queen, or king and the rook. Oh, they're saying bishop to e5 is even better. Okay, let's go back here. Well, now it's saying knight to g3 and bishop to e5 is not even mentioned here. Oh, and then there's this. That's not looking too good. They're targeting that. So I would go with this move. Check. King is forced to capture, or the queen. But, this is better. Now we can pick off this. And, oh, it's a double discovered check. So the king should go back to g1, otherwise they'll run into a mate. Knight, oh, and the knight escapes. Oh, man, yeah, so, this is probably why they resign, or, well, they didn't even resign, why they just quit and let the time run out. Anyway, so what now? They recommend a4, just start pushing pawns. Rook to c4, jumping up here. Yeah, it's not looking too good now. All right, well, that was an interesting game. So feel free to leave comments, whatever you think about the game or anything else. Like and subscribe if you haven't already to support the channel. Thank you for watching and have a super chess day.